Stan, here we are in the loft again. I don't know why I'm doing this video. Well, I do, because I just found this in the drawer. And my wife's selling a lot of stuff on eBay and Vinted and all that sort of carry on. And I had to go through the drawer to get this certain item, and I found this. I've never seen it for years. So, as most people who follow my channel will know, I've spent a fair amount of time in my adult life in Australia. Three separate occasions. Adding up to about 4.5 years, 5 years, whatever, 3, anyway, around about that time. I've spent a decent number of years in Australia, and I became a citizen on my third and final time there, and I found this citizenship pledge. I just done something funny there. So, Australian citizenship pledge. From this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. So, obviously, me and Mrs. Stan both became Australian citizens. We got this as well, part of our citizenship ceremony. An uncirculated $1 coin. It actually has citizenship on there as well, didn't realise that. So, the uncirculated Australian $1 coin celebrates your Australian citizenship struck by the Perth Mint. The coin is issued as legal tender on the Australian Currency Act 1965. Australian citizenship symbolises our unity as a nation. It represents a commitment to Australia and its people, the values we share and our common future. The coin's reverse depicts the Australian Commonwealth coat of arms accompanied by Australia and the words citizenship. The coat of arms consists of the badges of the 6 states of the Commonwealth on a shield enclosed by an ermine border signifying Australian Federation 1901. The crest on the arms, including a 7-pointed star, appears above the shield, which is supported by a kangaroo and an emu. The coin's obverse portrays the Ian Rank Broadley effigy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II and the year date 2010. I honestly don't think I've ever read that. That is on display with my wife's coin in the book room. And here is my, I'm not going to show you any details obviously, but there is my passport, trust me, Australian passport there. And yeah, it's a funny, it's out of date. And to get a new Australian passport, which we were planning to do, we were all booked in to do it until the pandemic sort of kicked in, will cost a lot of money. It costs a lot of money. We'd have to go for an interview in London. It's a strange part of your life, because you think it wasn't long after we became citizens, and then a few things happened, personal, family back in the UK, which sort of made us realise that we were coming back to the UK initially. Short term was the plan, a year or so, and it turned out maybe to be longer. So yeah, it's an odd thing to become a citizen of another country, because the ceremony, I remember it very well. The guy who was he the local MP? He was an ex-Australian rugby player, so as in like played for the country. But it did mean something to me and my wife to do this, and then we were gone within the year, you know. So that was a bit hard to do, especially because I do have family out there who I think a lot about, and so that was difficult. Difficult leaving your family here, leaving your family there. And I think probably only people who've lived in another country could put themselves in my shoes, really. They understand, because I can understand exactly what it feels like. Probably another reason I'm doing this video is I've got a very close friend, the old rugby mate, and he's been back to the UK 3 times over the last couple of years, and he's just trying to put together something to come back to the UK full time. So when people have said to me more times than I care to remember, "What, you lived in Australia and you're a citizen, you became a citizen, what did you come back to England for? Are you in mad?" Said it, you know, I was going to go. We had the interview, I read the papers and everything. I loved it out there, mate. Honestly, if I've heard that once, I've heard it fucking 20,000 times off people who have, you know, yeah, you may have liked it. You may have done better than I did out there. You know what I mean? I went out there. Each time I went out there, I played rugby. I worked in a steelworks or a fabrication shop. Basically the same sort of life I lived over here. There'll always be part of me that wants to be in Australia, definitely. It's just that the bigger part of me wants to be in the UK, and that's how these things are. I mean, I literally, before we left Australia, we went to Tasmania for 2 or 3 weeks, and my family came out there, and we ended up, it was a lovely place, that was a lovely place. And we ended up in this little town in a club, having a beer, and there was an old guy leaning on the bar, and he was an English person, slang for an English person, pommy, from Manchester or something, I think it was, and he's retired. And he said to my cousin, "Oh, where are you lads from? Where you lot from?" So New South Wales. "Oh, what are you doing down in Tasmania?" He said, "Well, just here for my cousin. He's going back to the UK." This old bloke turned around to me. I'm going to say exactly what he said. "You going back to the UK? You know, holiday?" I said, "No, I'm an Aussie citizen." He went, "Well, you're a fucking idiot then." I mean, I'd never met him before, and that's what he said. And obviously, this channel isn't a political channel, but sometimes I suppose you have to mention how things are in the world. Do I think the UK is perfect? No, not really. Has it got problems? Yeah, but so is everywhere. I'm happier living here, but with the caveat of I was actually very proud to do this, to take out the citizenship. That's the correct way of putting it. And there'll always be a part of me that wants to be there. When would we ever go back to Australia? I don't know. That's the thing. The funny thing is, after all that to and fro, and I've sort of really got in the grip of a bad thing for flying, and I've really got an issue. That's an issue with me. And also, we are not allowed, me and Mr. Stan, to go into Australia with a British passport. Now you've got that, you've got to go on that. And I think, I don't know if I can quote it. Well, put it this way. It's a lot of money. It's not just £100. It's a lot more than that to renew your Australian passport in this country. So I thought I'd just share that with you. The Australian coin, passport, and citizenship, a big part of my life. And yeah, it's an odd one. It's probably in my mind because I say this guy who's planning on coming back here. He was down the rugby club with me the other week. He's just gone back to Australia, and loads of people were asking me yesterday. Oh, I went to watch the game. "Oh, I seen Thingy in here the other week. Yeah, is he coming back to the UK for?" Yeah. Is he mad? Just all the time, like negative stuff, you know. But I suppose that's human nature, what people are like. So anyway, just a quick daft video for you. This is Stan, and I will get back on the military next week. See ya.